Hey guys, welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet and welcome to my channel. Today I am excited because I'm back with another multiple looks using one palette, and the palette of choice is the brand new Huda Beauty Haze Obsessions palette, the khaki one, the one that looks like this. And as you guys know, I love to show you guys how to use one single palette a bunch of different ways. So if you're interested in seeing how to get these multiple looks using the brand new Huda Beauty Haze Obsessions palette, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post videos like this all the time. I even have a huge playlist of multiple looks only using one palette up here. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, we are going to start. This is how the palette looks and it's a brand new glory. Oh, I love me a good new palette. Alright, we're going to do some swatches. The palette doesn't have names, so I'll just show you guys here all the swatches. It's from left to right, and they are 9 shades. There are 5 matte and 4 shimmers. These are how they swatch. They didn't swatch the best, but you know, I don't go by that. Alright, we're going to start off with some Maybelline concealer to prime the lids. And because I have oily lids, I always have to prime. So I'm blending it out with this brush and then warm it up with my finger. We're going to start off with this olive matte shade right on the crease with this fluffy brush, but it's tapered at the end. So it kind of gives you a bit of a precise placement, but it is a little bit on the thicker side. So what I'm doing is tapping it and then blending it out. Tapping motion will give you the most pigment. What the tapping does is going to place the pigment on, and then when you start blending, it won't blend away and you'll still have the pigment there. And then we're going to go back in with our concealer and we're going to cut the crease using this fluffy brush. We're not really cutting it, we're just cleaning up the space we need, and it's not going to be with sharp lines or anything, which is why I'm warming it up here with the finger. It just gives it a nice blend. We're going to go back in with the olive shade just to blend it out, and going in with this matte light pink shade, we're going to tap it on where we place the concealer. This pink shade was so pretty, but you really have to build it up so you can see it. Going back in with the olive shade, just blending those harsh lines out. Back in with the pink shade, just deepening up and really making that pink shade pop. Back in with the olive, and then with this clean brush, we're going to get rid of any harsh lines. Using this corner shimmer shade, it has reflexes of purple and pink. We're going to hit it right in the inner corner. And with our same concealer brush we've been using with very little product, we're going to tap on top of the shadow. So it gives us a nice airbrush look. Then going back in with the inner corner, because I felt like that brush wasn't doing it. Using this Stila eyeliner, we're going to hit the waterline and just really get it dark there. Back in with the olive shade and just blending it out at the lower lash line to sort of match the top of the eye, and just build it as much as you want. And guys, this is the first look. I wanted to keep it mainly matte and just use 2 shades, because sometimes we look at a palette and we feel like we need to use a lot of shades, but you can only use 2 or 3 and really complete a beautiful, simple, chic look. And this is what I wanted to do so you guys can see 2 shades paired together. This look, not only is it super easy, it's so beautiful. So let's move on to look numero 2. Starting off with some P. Louise primer base, we're going to hit it on the lid. Again, blend it out with the brush and then our finger. Starting off with the olive shade, we're going to start doing tapping motions and really building it up with this small brush. And like I said earlier, tapping motions will allow you to really get that pigment going. And with the bigger brush, we're going to get in this light brown. I feel like it has like a bit of an orange undertone. We're going to start tapping on top of the olive green to start creating that gradient from dark to light. But you really want to tap, because the tapping motion will really get the blend going by itself, and then you can start blending back and forth or in circular motions. I went back in with the dark shade right here just to deepen it up really quick, and then back in with the light orange brown shade, and now we're blending. Going in with this clean brush, and we're going to really start getting the edges so they don't look as harsh as they look right now. And just doing circular motions and going around the entire area. Using this shade, oh my god, this shimmer olive shade, look at it. Oh, we're just gonna tap and just drag down very gently to really get that pigment going. And we're hitting it right in the middle where we had that little spotlight, and then using our finger per the usual to get that full pigment. And then we're just going back and reinforcing our steps, getting the dark matte olive shade and then the light brown, just blending those out so we create and keep the nice gradient. With our clean brush, we're going back into the edges. Now going in with this L'Oreal brown liner, we're going to hit the lower lash line, really get it nice and dark. I love brown liners. Using the matte olive shade, we're going to hit it in the inner corner, really working it down the lower lash line, not the inner corner, lower lash line. And then we're going to blend it out with the light brown orange shade. So we have that nice gradient that matches the top and bottom. Using this inner corner shade, it's a very light olive with like gold reflexes. We're gonna hit it in the inner corner. And guys, this is look number 2. I absolutely love this look. It's super glam, it's super pretty. I wanted it to be like in a halo eye, but not really that sharp. And we kind of accomplished that here. It was super easy. I feel like doing it, this method is a lot easier than cutting the crease and doing all that stuff. A super beautiful olive shimmer shade. All right, let's move on to look number 3. Starting off with the darker brown. Again, these browns have like an orange undertone. We're gonna start tapping it around our crease and really just tapping and building it. And then after we build it, we're gonna just blend it back and forth or in circular motions. Using the lighter brown shade, we're gonna start tapping on top of the dark shade so we create that gradient. And you see, you can kind of see the gradient as you're tapping, but now we're here blending. Back in with our cleanish brush, we're gonna blend out all those edges we just created. And going in with some L'Oreal concealer, we're gonna cut the crease. Again, this crease is not gonna be cut very sharp. It's just gonna really clean up the area that we need back in so it doesn't look like too choppy. And back in with our light brush. Wetting our synthetic flat brush, we're gonna go in with this shimmer, I would say terracotta orange shade, but it has like pink reflexes. We're gonna tap it on and really hit it on the lid, and of course always doing it with our finger to get the most pigment. And then back in, reinforcing our steps. I'm buffing it out with the lighter shade and then with our clean brush. Going in with this dark brown, but it has a hint of olive. We're gonna blend it out right on the lid, but you don't have to be too neat. We just want to create depth, and I wanted it to be a little bit on the thick side. So I'm getting this flat brush and just tapping on top of it and just literally following the shape of the eye. You could wing it out as well if you want. Now going in with this L'Oreal eyeliner, back in with our waterline. You guys know per the usual. Using the dark brown shade. It's more like a cool tone brown shade. We're gonna hit it on the lower lash line. Really build it up so we get that fluffy, nice smoked out effect. Back in with our same brush we're using, the lighter shade. We're just gonna blend those out. And guys, this is look number 3. Super beautiful. I really wanted to use like the bottom row of this palette because I just felt like it's super fall inspired. It reminds me of like the pumpkin latte kind of color or vibes, you know? But this is look number 3. Again, super easy. You can always wear falsies if you want. You guys know I can't wear them because I'm allergic to lash glue, but all these looks are always like catered to both no lashes and lashes, you know? But yeah, guys, this is look number 3. Let's move on to look numero 4. Moving on to the dark brown shade. We're gonna hit it right at the end of the eye and really build it up. So we're gonna tap it, tap it, tap it, and then blend it, blend it, blend it. And with our finger, we're gonna get the olive shimmer shade and hit it at the end of the eye. Just like messily, nothing too neat or anything. And then getting the light gold green shade, we're gonna hit it in the inner corner. Really just build it with our fingers. Again, we want like a smoky look, not really too structured. And then with this brush, I'm just like lining everything up and reinforcing everything with my finger again. Going in with the dark shade and really tapping it at the end so we start creating the depth at the end of the eye. And again, we're tapping and then we're gonna blend. And then going in with the dark brown shade, we're gonna tap it on top of the dark cool tone brown so we start creating that gradient so it doesn't look like that big stamp of dark shade right there, you know? And then start blending it out. And with our clean brush, blending it out. Full face and everything, guys, we're going back in with our L'Oreal brown liner. I think I used this liner for the whole video, but you guys get it. And then going in with the dark shade and really lining it up with this thin flat brush on our lower lash line, building it up as much as possible. And then again, blending it out with the brush we used prior, just so it becomes a little soft, but not too soft and not too blended out, you know? All right, guys, this is look number 4. Okay, this also is one of my favorites. I feel like I like them all, but this is a super glam holiday look for your birthday, for Christmas, for any holiday you celebrate. It was honestly super easy, as glam as it looks. Like you guys saw, we just used our fingers, tapping motions, and called it a day, you know? But yeah, guys, ooh, this look is so pretty. Let's move on to look numero 5. Back in with our Maybelline concealer, we're gonna prime the lids and prime them very well because you see that discoloration we have there. We're gonna set it with any setting powder we have. We're gonna use today this Milani setting powder. We're gonna start off with the dark olive green shade with a small brush. We're gonna start tapping it right where the crease is. Really building it up as dark as you want. It doesn't have to be as dark as I did it, but you guys know. And then with this fluffy-esque brush, it's still a small brush, we're gonna blend that out and start creating a nice blend on our crease. Building it up back again with the purple brush. Blending it out with the red brush. Using the pink matte shade, we're gonna tap it right on top of our lid, just covering it with the pink shade. Really building it up with this flat synthetic brush. Then I picked up a bit of a fluffier brush so it could pick the product up better. Back in with our purple brush, deepening it up, and then our red to blend it. Going back in with our shimmer gold olive shade, we're gonna start creating a wing liner. You guys, I think this is my favorite shade right here. And I honestly could not figure out what brush to use, so I'm using 3 brushes. Right here, I'm using a flat concealer brush just to really start creating that nice wing liner. You want to meet the wing at the end of your crease, how this one is. And then we're getting this liner brush, which is the better one, and just start really building it and creating that fierce wing liner. Back in with our first brush, just blending out that edge. Back in with our pink shade. And then going in with the purple pink shimmer shade, we're gonna hit it right in the inner corner, really build it up nicely. And using this light terracotta shade, we're gonna start blending the crease because I felt like the crease was looking a little bit too harsh. And really just taking our time blending it and doing it nice and gently. Going in with this LA Girl Bright liner, we're gonna hit the waterline, really get it nice and bright. Using the dark olive shade, we're gonna blend out the lower lash line. On the lower lash line, you guys know what I mean. And then blending it out with our red we used throughout the video. All right, guys, this is look number 5. This is a total beautiful look. It has like the super defined crease with the light lid and a quick wing liner. You can always use like a gel liner or liquid liner. I just wanted to use the palette and show you guys like how the shimmers work, especially this olive shimmer. It's such a beautiful shade. It just glides on beautifully. And you guys know I always have to do a wing in every look. But guys, this is look number 5. I have my outro letting you guys know how I feel about the palette and all that fun stuff. So I'll see you there. Hey guys, we're back. So this is the 5th and final look using the Huda Beauty Haze Obsession palette, the khaki palette at that. And ooh, you guys, these looks honestly were my favorite looks. I really want to create completely different looks for you guys to draw inspiration from, and so you guys can be able to do it very easily, you know? And this palette was super freaking easy to work with. Like easy. The only thing that I found was both of these dark colors right here, you can't work with them with a wet surface because they become extremely patchy. I had to completely scratch a look I was doing because it just got way too patchy, and I just really didn't know, because working with the palette you kind of learn as you go. Just make sure you set your concealer or primer and then go in with these 2 shadows. I feel like the other shadows were fine with a wet base, but not the darkest shades, so keep that in mind. Also, I feel like primer worked a little bit better this time around than concealer. I do have very oily lids, so that may play a part. But for the most part, I honestly like to use concealer to prime my lids, but I always use both so you guys can see the differences. And guys, I love this palette. I think it's beautiful. It's definitely very dark. It's fall inspired. You can get a few light looks, especially with this row right here. But for the most part, I feel like you get more of the darker sort of vibes, which I really liked. This palette is beautiful. I just love all the olive and the greens and the browns and the pinks. It just all meshed so well, you know? I bought this at Sephora. It's in stores and online, and I believe it retails for $29. That's how much all of Huda Beauty's Obsession palettes, the mini palettes, retail for. You do get 9 shades, and you are able to create a bunch of looks, which is why I always do multiple looks using the palette so you guys can kind of see how to work with the palette, you know? This palette, I think it's my new fave. The pigment was there. Oh, before I forget, there was a lot of fallout with the shimmer. This one right here, this light one, does feel like a pressed glitter, so be careful because you did get a bunch of fallout. There's a little bit of fallout with the matte shadows, but I personally don't mind fallout as long as there's pigment. If we have fallout and no pigment, that's when it just kind of gets annoying because you kind of just have to blend forever. The color payoff was great. The shades look exactly how they are in the pan. There's definitely pigment. The shimmers were just very creamy, except for the glitter one. I would suggest for you to use glitter glue, but also I don't like to use a lot of extra things when I use multiple looks using the one palette, because I just think about you guys having this palette because I feel like it just makes it easier, you know? And I think this is it, guys. Let me know which one is your favorite look. I honestly love them all. I thought they were all beautiful, but I think it's a little biased opinion because I created the looks, but you know what I mean. So let me know which one's your favorite, and I think this is it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and stopping by, and please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, join the family, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.